Good morning everyone, this is my latest Kerbal Space Program video in the career mode, version 0.23. This time we're going to Duna. Now, what I'm going to do right here at the beginning is fast forward time a little bit, because on previous test runs I've noticed that we're out of sync with Duna, and then when we're out in space we're going to have to fast forward time anyway. So I'm just going to do that a little bit here, and then we'll see what we can do. Alright. Hope you're all really well anyway, and enjoying your adventures in space. I know I am. Working hard to bring you these videos. Let me know in the comments section of my videos if there's anything you want to tell me about your missions. I'd be interested to hear. Anything cool that's happened. What's the furthest planet you've got to? The most difficult planet. What kind of missions are you getting up to? Like I said, I'd be very interested to hear. If we just take a quick look at my rocket, we've got two mystery goos, we've got two parachutes, as we'll be returning to Kerbin with our data on this particular mission. We've got some monopropellant. On the top, it's an unmanned one, so I've got like a remote control module on top, and that's about it. This will be a two-phase mission to Duna. This first one will get us into orbit around it, gather some data, and then head back to Kerbin. And once we've done that, our next mission will be to move on to landing on Duna. And if possible, depending on the parts we can unlock in this section, if possible, we'll return to Kerbin with the data. But I don't think we will be able to. If we can, great, because we'll get 100% of the data. If we can't, not to worry, it should give us enough data to unlock some useful parts for further exploration of the cosmos. So let's go ahead and get ourselves up into orbit. I'm going to aim for about 75,000 meters at the apoapsis, you know, the peak of our trajectory. And then from there, I'm going to create a maneuver which will fire us off into deepest space. So rather than creating a circular orbit around Kerbin and going from there, I'm just going to get an apoapsis, from there fling ourselves with a massive delta V injection, hopefully leaving around 6,000 meters per second left of delta V. Use that to get out of Kerbin and Minmus and Mun orbit, or sphere of influence, and into the deepest, darkest recesses of space. Now the good thing about Duna is that its planar orbit, or the angle at which it orbits the sun, is very similar. I think it's about 0.1 degrees out, so very similar to the orbit that Kerbin is on. So it doesn't require any delta V or change in velocity and direction in order to cancel out that planar orbit, and instead all it needs is a straightforward attempt at an encounter. So it makes it a lot easier to get to. It's one of the easiest planets to get to. If you want to get to the moons of it, it's a bit of a different story, but as I said, as we unlock things in this career mode, we'll be able to build more efficient rockets and stuff. The rockets we've got right now are just so inefficient. Well, they're relatively efficient, but very underpowered compared to the amount of fuel we're needing to take up to get to these sections. So anyway, I'm going to create a maneuver here, and that's going to fling us off into the deepest, darkest recesses of outer space, where God knows what will be there. Thinking Star Trek or Star Wars or something, but yeah, none of that's in this game. Anyway, let's power up our rocket and aim for this blue marker on our little gyroscope at the bottom there. Now what you want to do is keep an eye on this screen. Watch yourself flying above Kerbin in all its majesty, and keep an eye on the liquid fuel, so you're not losing any efficiency by keeping those fuel tanks attached to your rocket once the burners have used up all the fuel. So that's just something to keep an eye out on. Look at that. You can see the sun behind us. What a beautiful day for flying, Captain. As you can see at the moment, we've got a delta V of 7,100 and dropping. We've got 1,400 meters per second change in velocity we still need to do in order to escape the effects of our localized celestial bodies. Nearly run out of fuel on this section. And there we are. So let's jettison those. And now we've still got 1,000 meters per second, roughly, to change. As I said, we're hopefully aiming for about 6,000 delta V. If we don't quite have that much, so be it, but let's see what we can do. What I am going to do on the left hand side here is make that parachute part of its own stage. So I've just switched that around, used the plus button and drag the final burner or rocket into its own little staging. We don't want those two to go off together. There is always the potential that your parachute will just tear off, so that's just something to be aware of. Alright, now all is going a bit slow here, but that's the nature of spaceflight. There's no quick fixes. Okay, well, our orbit velocity is huge now, 2,900. We'll soon be approaching a speed where we'll escape the effects of our local planets and moons. As you can see, it's forcing our apoapsis out. So if we carried on and stopped our burning of fuel at the moment, we'll almost be at the moon, as you can see there. But we're going beyond that. We are escaping, so we're down to 5,800, and there we are. That's our escape. So we've got our escape velocity. So just cut the fuel, cut the thrust. Sorry, and off we go. Out into deeper space. Fly, my pretty, fly. There it is. That is our orbit now around the sun. As you can see, the sun's in the center there. And the red line is Duna. So we're going to left click that, set as target. And hopefully from the periapsis, we can drag and create an encounter with Duna. Let's just see how far out we are. Quite far out, so let's drag that around and try and create a usable encounter. Nope. About around that way. No, now this does require a bit of tinkering. As I said, because we're out of sync really, our launch window wasn't correct. So what I'm going to do is just fast forward this the game world now in order to make Duna and our rocket kind of closer. Now you can see our rocket is orbiting about 9,000 meters per second. If I move my mouse over Duna, it's relatively stable at 7,100 meters per second. So we are going to catch it the longer we wait. I'm just going to wait for our rocket to pass this periapsis around the side here. And unfortunately it takes a while, but that's where mission planning comes in. If you can plan your mission correctly and get to the right launch window, then it'll be a lot more you'll be a lot more effective at creating an encounter. But what I'm going to do right now actually is press play, see if I can't figure out another encounter. So let's drag that round. No, nowhere near. Drag it round there. And drag that down. So maybe we can get an encounter around here. Obviously you don't want to use too much fuel. I think it might be better if I wait again. Yes, I'm just going to wait a little bit longer. Wait for our rocket to pass. There's our rocket. I'm just zooming in now. Wait for our rocket to pass this periapsis and we'll be able to create an encounter where Duna is actually on. There'll be less of a change in speed we need in order to create our encounter. So that's what I'm going to aim for. Now, I know it's annoying, but like I said, it's all to do with the timing of your launch, really. Not far from here. As I was saying earlier, the planar orbit of Duna is represented by these greeny yellow descending node and ascending node. Now they're at 0.1 degrees. So the closer that is to 0, the better. Alright, we've nearly passed our periapsis point, so we should be almost in a position where we can get a good encounter, I would say. Let's see. Okay, let's drag that around there. See what we get. This is one of the hardest things of your mission, trying to find this encounter and getting a good one where you're not using too much fuel. Ah, look, that's pretty close. So we can get an encounter around there, so let's just drag that back. That's pretty close. Just around there a bit more. Drag that out a bit more, and there it is, near enough. There is our encounter. Let's just reduce our speed a little bit. Speed it up a little bit. And there it is. There is a nice encounter for us. So that's going to require an 818 meters per second delta V, but that's not for 77 days. So let's just speed up time. It's only going to be a 1 minute burn. So in order to approach Duna, we're only going to be using, we're still going to have about 5,000 delta V in order to play with, in order to slow down our speed, get close enough to get in orbit around Duna, and collect our data and come back. So that is looking quite good. 50 days now, 49, 48. As I said before, guys, I'm really interested in all your stories about Kerbal Space Program. The game's in really early build still right now, and they've got lots of features still to add, so just let me know what you guys are up to. Are you more interested in building planes or super efficient rockets, or are you more interested in getting to all the planets and moons? What's your aim? What do you like about this game? Just let me know. I'm really interested. I want to create a nice dialogue with you guys, so you know, get in touch. Alright, 14 days, 13 days, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Just start slowing down time so we can make this window of opportunity. 20 hours, 15 hours, 9, 8, 7, 6. Ooh, let's get in there quick. 3 hours and 3 hours roughly. Alright, we want to be as close to the estimated burn time as possible. Okay, slow down time again. I'm just using the comma and full stop keys in order to change this. Alright, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. And there it is. There's our burn. So, fire up the rockets, Captain. Let's make sure we can get there. Don't want to overshoot it or nothing. You'll notice I'm changing accents quite a lot. That's because one of my passions is learning different accents and sort of impersonating them. So don't worry, I'm not gone mad. It's just something I like to do. Alright, 500 meters per second. We're getting in. Hopefully we can get a really nice approach here. Still got 5,500 meters per second. Potential change in velocity. So we should have enough fuel. You never know what can happen in deepest, darkest space, though. Come on, rocket, you've got this. Just keeping myself over that blue marker. And there it is. There is our encounter. Beautiful. So now what we do is fast forward time, wait for us to get closer, and then we can mess around, try and get, you know, a really useful encounter that is much more helpful in order for us to get the data we want. So come on, rocket, you can get there. Encounter in 70 something days. Not bad, not bad. It's a bit like a kaleidoscope looking at all this. Moho Ascension. Okay. Come on, we want a really nice encounter here. I can't remember the exact amount of fuel you need for your return. Maybe around 1,000. Not sure. It's not as much as you need to get there, that's for sure. But I'm pretty sure we can complete this without too much drama. Do a quick save here. F5 is the key for that one. Here we go, we're getting closer. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is slow down time. See if I can't make an even better approach to this. Let's see. Let's see what we got. There it is, so if we slow down our speed. Yeah, that looks nice. Alright, so I'm going to do another burn. You can do this as often as you want in order to get a closer pass to the planet. But I'm just choosing to do this because I want to, really. It looks like it's going to give me a better approach, so power up our rocket. And I don't know, has that ruined it? Or what? Yeah, it kind of has. Alright. So, okay. We just need to speed up a little bit again. Kind of ruined it a bit, but never mind. I was just testing out, seeing what the approach angle could be changed to. Okay, so let's move ourselves there. Speed up time in order to get to this maneuver node. Alright, near enough there, so now let's speed up our velocity. And wait for that purple line again to show that we've got an encounter with Duna. There it is. Alright, nice. Kind of wasted fuel there, I think, a bit, but not to worry, I'm pretty sure we have enough. Alright, so we're zooming in for our encounter now. Getting closer and closer. Slow it down just a little bit. Our Duna encounter is in 1 day. We're going to have a periapsis 30 million meters away, which isn't too bad. There it is. There is our pass by Duna. As you can see, it's disappearing as we're talking, but not too bad. So let's drag our little maneuver thing there. Get our periapsis as close as we can. 1 million meters. 70,000 meters. Not bad. So what I'm going to do at this point actually is use one of my mystery goos and observe the mystery goo in deep space. So that's okay. Recovery, we get 70 science from it. Nice. The goo takes on a red sheen that looks very much like the planet below. How fascinating. Okay, so we've got 12 hours till our encounter, or our periapsis, the closest approach to Duna. Speed that up. Near enough there. Now let's do our burn. So you can see that's going to drop us to about 4,000 meters per second once we've done this, I think. Drop our potential delta V left, which is kind of an indication of the fuel you've got. Alright, so hopefully what I'm going to do is go round the planet at the closest point, take the data, use the slingshot to fire us back into orbit around the sun, and hopefully create quite an efficient mission. So here we go, being dragged in closer. Not bad. Let's have a look, see what that says. Periapsis. Yeah, about 70,000 meters. That's good enough for me. So now we're going to slingshot round it. 65,000 meters. Nice. So 4 days we'll be there. Alright, 23 hours. And as you get closer, you'll be speeding up because of the effects of the planet. We're getting pretty close now. Let's zoom in and see what's happening. There is our fabled red planet. We're coming close to you now, red planet. There we go. Now, as we're over the top, we can zoom in and have a little look. Press the M button to see our rocket passing over. Now, at this point, I'm going to right-click on our little Science Junior thing, observe the materials bay, and we'll get 175 science if we can recover this. And now I'm going to use the other mystery goo, and that gives us another 70 science. So beautiful. Quite a lot of science we're getting here. So as I said, at the periapsis, I'm going to set another maneuver, and we'll be escaping the orbit of Duna just like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that now, and there we go. It looks like we are slingshotted back into space. So let's fast forward time, make sure that is happening. And that's pretty much all there is to our mission. Look, you can see the nice red planet there. But the next one, we'll be aiming for a landing, so that's the one we're going to look for. You can see the moon there, Ike. That's another nice little mission we can aim for after we've done this. But let's escape the clutches of Duna and get back into outer space around the sun. Alright, let's have a look here what's going on. So yeah, there is our orbit around the sun. So let's go ahead and set Kerbin as our target. I'm just going to do it at the periapsis. Create a maneuver in order to get an encounter with Kerbin. See where we can get it. Now just play around with this until we get the encounter we want. There's roughly an encounter. There it is. Just move this ever so slightly. Ah, we're out of plane. So okay, we can just use the pink one to adjust that. We want to drag it the other way. Minus 1.4. Minus 4.6. No. Way too much. Minus 1.3. Minus 2. Minus 1.5. Minus 12.4. Jesus. So let's see if we can get this encounter. There's a nice encounter. That's going to require 1044 meters per second velocity change in order to get our encounter with Kerbin. And because of the Kerbin atmosphere, we shouldn't have a problem slowing down along with our parachutes in order to, you know, get back safely and return our data to base. Looks like we've got a very good mission completed here, guys. But you never know. Gotta wait till the end to see if we can pull it off. Come on, 40 days until our burn time. Come on, you guys, we can do this. Doesn't look that difficult, but in space, no one can hear you scream. That's what they say. And I don't want to be screaming. You know, even though it's an unmanned rocket. Don't want to lose nothing, you know. We're the poor Kerbin nation. You've seen the planet. There's nothing on there. We need to save as much as we can. 7 days, 6 days, 5 days, 4 days, 3 days, 2 days, 1 day. Start slowing down our approach. 16 hours. 4. And there we are. We're nearly there now. Speed it up just slightly. Don't want to miss this encounter. There we go, we're nearly there. So, speed it up just gently now. And away we go. Move our heading over that blue reticule on the gyroscope at the bottom. And fire the cannons! Don't have too much fuel left, but easily enough. We click on our resources. Our next stage is more efficient than this one. And all is going to go beautifully, I can tell. Come on, we're heading back to Kerbin. I was gonna say Minmus, but that would be wrong. Heading back to Kerbin with lots of good data. Oh, we've run out of fuel. Space. Now we're on to our little tiny rocket. Yeah, perfect for landing back on Minmus anyway. On Kerbin. Blech, why Minmus? Come on. Get that purple line. There it is! Yes, our encounter back with home. Fire the cannons, or speed up the time, whatever you prefer. We're coming home! Jebediah's gonna be proud of us, I can tell. Come on, Jeb. Crack out the champagne, boy. We're coming home. Still got a delta V of nearly 3,000. This is easily gonna be done now. Just need time to go even faster. Look at that. Look at that. That's gonna be beautiful landing. Feel it in my bones. Let's move flight engineer out the way over to the left there. I mentioned that in my previous video actually, that I talked about flight engineer. Very, very useful. There's Kerbin. Huzzah! We're getting there now. Okay. Start getting ready to slow down time. And we're nearly there. Oh, nearly there. There is our encounter. Yeah, we're coming home, mama. Right, periapsis, add a maneuver. Drag our sorry bones into a position where we're actually gonna get some sort of landing. Actually, that's gonna plow right through it. There's our periapsis. Alright, that'll do actually, because the atmosphere will slow us down. So yeah, now we've set our maneuver. Maneuver our little rocket over that blue marker again, and in 11 hours time, do our burn, and home we come. So yeah, this rocket's been specifically designed for this mission, so we'll end up with not too much fuel left over. Just be careful of that if you're going to design a different rocket to the one I'm using. Obviously you don't want to run out of fuel mid-mission, but also, you know, you can learn things from it, so do as you wish, but keep me updated with your progress. I'll be really interested to hear, so yeah, don't leave me out of the loop. I'm by no means an expert, just a keen gamer who wants to mix with other keen gamers. Alright, there is our approach near enough. Let's do it from there. Fire the rocket! It's a huge delta V change we need. I'm just going to speed up the physics engine a little bit. You do that by pressing the Alt key and the full stop and comma keys. Just like you do normal speed up time, but you're speeding up the actual whole engine. Okay, make sure our rocket's still over that blue bit. Yeah, and here comes our blue line of destiny. Woo! Here it comes, dun dun, rocking like a hurricane, dun dun. Oh crap! Oh crap! Whoa! I'm not sure what I did there. Yeah, we'll probably set another maneuver just to be sure. There, good enough. Just a slight change in direction is necessary in order to make sure we don't die or something. Which I can be sure you do not want us to die. Is correct, eh? No, our rocket is not listening to me. Turn that way, you fool. Okay, Just doing another light burn. And there we go. That's our intersection with Kerbin. Beautiful. Now press F5, because once you speed up time on this bad boy, you can well smash straight through the planet. So, just a little heads up there. Here we come, Kerbin. We coming home. Yeah. Alright, now I'm just going to slow this down and see if I can create a maneuver that makes us land on the light side of the planet. I don't know if I'll be able to, but we can see. Nah, never mind, just leave it. We gonna be coming home, that's for sure. Yeah, we should be landing ish in the daylight. Here we go. Just gonna skim the surface of planet Earth, and this is gonna be beautiful. Beautiful, I tell you. Now, if I click here, you should be able to see us approaching the planet, and there it is. Whoa! We're coming home, Mama. I told you we're coming home. Come on, Cletus. Speaking of Cletus, channel partner Mr. Beavis has just come online. Alright, here we go. Now I can just use any of my fuel now to just slow my approach even more. There we go. We're dropping through the atmosphere now. Look at that. Like a streaky meteorite across the surface of the planet. Beautiful, I tell you. Beautiful. And that is slowing us down quite dramatically, which is nice. And then once we get low enough, we can open our parachutes and land in a safe fashion. Looks like we're going to land on one of the polar caps, one of the polar regions, which is pretty neat. Alright, so our speed is slowing down even more as the atmospheric effects take place. Looks like everything is going to plan, and we are not going to die. But you never know. Try to turn my rocket, but won't let me. But our speed is nice and slow. Speeding up time a bit more. How low are we getting now? Low enough. Open the parachutes! Our speed was low enough to let me open them anyway, so that's good. And down we come at about 500 meters, I think, or 1,000 meters. They're going to deploy properly, hopefully. And there we go. We should have a safe landing. So let's just open our landing legs by pressing G, and we're going slow enough to the surface to land in a gentle, orderly fashion. Yes. And then data will be ours. Woo! 100 meters above the ground, coming in fast. Doo 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 doo. Just gonna use my rocket now to slow my descent even more, just because I want to. And there we go. We have landed. Houston, our mission was a success. Escape. Go to the space center and check out our data. Yeah. Click on this one. Landed at Kerbin. There it is. Recover. And look at all that data. 355 science earned on this mission. Done. Thank you very much. Let's escape there and go and check on what stuff we can unlock. Alright, we can unlock advanced construction, giving us fuselage, fuel tanks, brand adapter, aerodynamics, advanced flight control. Oh, that's 90. Landing stuff, more stuff like press map barometer. That would come in handy for getting more data, so I'm going to unlock that for 160 science. What have we got here? Some extendable solar panels and stuff. That's 160. Got some small things up there. What have we got up here? Bigger rockets. The skipper engine. Nice. 160 science. That's mine. Sweet. Now leaves us with 116, so we can get one more thing. What's this? Hydraulic detachment manifold. Or some more inline advanced beginner's level probe core. Cool. I think I'm gonna go with brand decoupler. I'm gonna go with that one. The advanced construction for 90 science. Awesome. Well guys, that's it from me on this video. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you on the next one. Take care. Matthew is out.